get your comments in as far as the whole gas price issue is concerned, Mr. Jaitley, because the BJP hasn't really commented publicly on the gas price issue. The new gas prices will come into effect from the 1st of April. Is the BJP in favour of market-determined gas pricing?
Well, if you recollect, Mr. Yashwant Sinha is the chairman of the Standing Committee on Finance, had in that capacity spoken, which was the BJP stand, and asked the government to reconsider the pricing at which they had based it on. And I think the government has reiterated, probably, or is in the process of reiterating that same decision. So to say that the BJP has not commented on it itself may not be very accurate.
The government has notified the new gas price which comes into effect from the 1st of April. So are you saying that the BJP is not in favour of a market-determined gas price, sir?
No, now you see, at the present stage, I don't think there is a situation where the BJP would like to rock the boat itself. But at the same time, that the pricing itself will have to be fair and not in any way of a nature where there is a windfall profit as far as individual companies are concerned.
You have no problem rocking the boat on retail, but you have a problem rocking the boat as far as gas is concerned, even though your party leader does believe that it shouldn't be linked to the market.
As far as retail is concerned, please don't forget that you have a very large number of people, 4 crore traders in this country. We are looking at almost 20 crore people, which is broadly 1/5 or 1/6 of India's population, the largest employer after agriculture. And therefore, if that is a section which is uncomfortable about a particular policy, we've opposed it as far as day one is concerned. Pricing of certain commodities may be a matter of policy. As far as opening this sector is concerned, I think goes to the core of livelihood of a very large number of people, and this is one area on which the BJP has never had a shifty stand. We've been crystal clear that we are opposed to the implementation of the retail FDI at the moment.
All right. So I want to get back to the populism versus prudence debate that we were having, and an example of populism you gave was the AGRI debt waiver. But I understand that the BJP is also perhaps considering slashing of AGRI credits as being one of the poll promises that you make. Can you elaborate for us what exactly your position is going to be?
You see, as far as credit availability to the farmers is concerned, we are certainly in favor of a very soft credit being available to the farmers. So therefore, there are BJP states which have made credit available at a very nominal percentage, 4%, and then it came down to 2%. One of the state governments has almost made credit available without any interest rates. Therefore, soft credit to help the farmers, I think, is what the BJP and the BJP president have been repeatedly saying.
I also want to come to another poll promise that you're likely to make in your manifesto, and that is increase the manufacturing share to more than 20% of GDP. It's a promise that you've talked about in the past. It's a promise that the UPA government made in its last 2 manifestos as well. Specifically, what do you intend to do to take manufacturing share to 20% of GDP? If you can give me specifics, sir.
You see, there are several steps India requires to take as far as manufacturing sector is concerned. Manufacturing is where bulk jobs are likely to be created. Therefore, as far as manufacturing is concerned, to speak in terms of rationalization of interest rates, you can't have a high interest rate regime where the cost of capital is non-competitive. Now, when Mr. Vajpayee's government was there, we saw a long phase of soft interest regime. Concentration on infrastructure, trade facilitation. Now, these are areas where you can slowly, it takes time, but you can slowly move in the direction, cost of utilities. If you have a power sector in a stalemate like the present moment, you'll never have a reasonable cost of securities. I'm quite conscious of the fact that labor flexibility in India is politically very challenging as a reform. And therefore, I am not for the moment saying that I'm very confident that governments will be able to do that very easily. But some of the other areas, like setting up of the manufacturing corridors or zones and implementing some of these areas which I have just indicated in order to make India a hub of low-cost manufacturing the way several other Asian economies have done.
Okay, I go back to the Arthkanti proposal because clearly it's a divided house in the BJP as far as taking that banking transaction tax proposal forward. But give me an idea really of revenue mobilization ideas that the BJP is going to take forward. Because if you're not likely or you're not going to be keen to actually hike taxes, what are going to be the new and innovative ideas as far as revenue mobilization is concerned?
Well, I think let me be very clear to say that the BJP is a divided house on banking transaction tax from a news point of view may appear attractive to you. BJP is certainly not a divided house as far as this issue is concerned. We are going to speak in one voice. A proposal has been made to us by a particular very enthusiastic group. We are seriously considering it. We are discussing it. We are aware of the complications involved in the proposal, and therefore we are not immediately jumping as far as that proposal is concerned. But the populism and the attraction in that proposal makes it worthy of consideration. That's all I have said. The BJP certainly is not a divided house. Now, the BJP is not for a very high tax regime as far as taxes are concerned, and therefore the extent of revenue mobilization in this country, the way our economy today is structured, is essentially going to depend on enlargement of economic activity. Therefore, if your economy grows,
are you going to push for more disinvestment?
Activity grows.
Are you going to push for more disinvestment? And may I say, are you going to bring back privatization, sir? Because the UPA ran away from the idea of privatization. You privatized companies when the NDA was in power. Will disinvestment lead to privatization as well if the BJP were to come to power?
Well, the BJP has absolutely no taboo as far as privatization is concerned. It will depend from company to company, sector to sector, whether you disinvest in small quantities as the UPA has done, or if there is a particular sector in which you need to privatize a company. As far as we are concerned, we have absolutely no difficulty. The UPA's problem itself was they campaigned against the privatization of the NDA, which I have no hesitation in saying was a highly successful program. They put it in their manifesto that there will be no privatization, and therefore they had bound themselves by a proposal where they kept on trying to disinvest but not privatize.
So you will go the privatization route if you do come to power?
Well, I am not saying that. We'll have to see from different companies and a different sector point of view as to what is to be done in those situations.
Well, we're running out of time, Mr. Jaitley. Let me ask you my final question. If you do come to power, commerce, finance, what would your heart desire? Or law even?
Well, I have absolutely no desire. My only one desire is to make sure that this present government leaves, and as far as India gets a respite from a non-governance that we have seen in the last few years, and therefore we have an effective government in place. That's our priority at the moment. Who gets what responsibility, if at all, I think is a consideration which arises much later.
All right, Mr. Jaitley, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18 and taking us through the priorities, economic priorities for the BJP. Appreciate your time.